Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Good to see you again, and we've got some matches up against my man Alex here playing Katakuri. I'm playing Gecko Moria, and unfortunately I had 3 matches here, but I'm only going to be able to post 2 of them because as you'll see in the second one, the camera unfortunately I believe got hit, and so it actually ended up adjusting a little bit poorly, and it just didn't make it so that I could have like the best quality of recording on these matches. But we do end up getting this first game, and he's gonna take second. I got first, and he does get putting down. I'm gonna go ahead and swing 6, trashing a Lucci, hoping to get lucky, and it looks as though we do. Yeah, I knew that my hand wasn't that great. Honestly, it felt like all of these matches I was kind of drawing pretty poorly, but he gets a pretty good Sanji trigger off the first life, so super solid start for him, just being able to develop a body as well as you know, potentially get down a Parosparrow right here, which is looking like what he's going to do. And Parosparrow and leaving the life up top, if I'm not mistaken. But now we do have a target that we can swing into at least to get rid of the Sanji. And I know that I am trying to set up for having Lucci and Helmeppo in trash already. So those are going to be very helpful for us. One thing that I've learned more and more as I've played this matchup is that I do not want to leave Pudding on the board as much as possible. Because I know Pudding doesn't seem like much of a threat, but it's like that extra card that I have to drop out of hand so many times, because yellow tends to not really care too much about, you know, they don't really care too much about like, okay, I'm at 6 Dawn, I need to get like maximum Dawn efficiency. Nope, just attach and swing, call it a day. Yep, and so 7k, play down probably another Parosparrow. I did show him my life there. He did decide to move that to the bottom. I'll go ahead and take the top, but another Parosparrow coming down, very bad for us, but at the same time, like, just seeing Parosparrow in this matchup isn't as threatening as it once was, because Katakuri does seem to run quite a bit of cards that don't have, that technically, like, just don't have, you know, the Big Mom Pirates archetype in it anymore. And that's good for us. I'm like, okay, perfect. I kind of want you to whiff on some of these Paros, but I'm going to use the Great Eruption to draw 1 card, lowering down the Parosparrow here. I'm going to swing 5 into it, interestingly enough. He does counter out, go into 1 card in hand, and I'll use Lucci to get rid of the Pudding as well as the Paro. I was hoping that that 5k would get through, unfortunately not, but he is going to hit the 7 cost Mom, which is such a great hit on, you know, for his curve right here. Little unfortunate for us, you know. I was thinking that, you know, if I was able to, you know, potentially like KO the Paro and he whiffs on this, we're just going to be looking super good, because he'd only be at 2 cards, but he's got more information about what we have in hand now. I'm just going to go ahead and give him this life, because honestly, I'm not trying to go down to 2 and have some shenanigans happen with reject, so I am fine with just letting him get back up to 5 and then slowly whittling down the board. I need to remove this Lin this turn, or potentially block her up and just get rid of the Parosparrow. So I'm just going to go 5 into life. We do end up, he gets another Parosparrow. I mean, like, it's crazy at this point. I'm just laughing. I'm like, oh my god, we can't do anything right. But I'll go 7 into the rested one, and actually I decide to take that back. I decided to just go 6. I don't want to use the extra Dawn, because I think I might be able to get some usage out of it. But he finds a 10 Mom. I'm like, oh my god, you got the perfect curve off these Paros. This is horrible. But Ice Age onto Lin is going to bring it down to a 2 cost, and then I can get Helmeppo and Lucci, which does end up KOing both. And I'm thinking, okay, first miss with the Paro here. Nope, hits the Cracker. I'm like, all right, we're still in a better spot, but it's not looking great. It's not looking great. He's drawn into some very useful cards here. 10 Mom is just super solid in being able to get rid of life, but smart, honestly, smart move. Does go 4 to develop 2 bodies because he knows that more than likely I won't be able to get rid of them, and then he could 10 Mom afterwards and have me at a lower spot, you know, and maybe not be in such a threatening position. I was surprised that he went into the Lucci right there, though, instead of going into life. I think that just getting me within reject range would have been pretty optimal, but honestly, I understand not wanting to. But now I've got Sabo on board, so this does give me, you know, a way to get out of quite a lot of those potential attacks like Amaru, reject. Granted, we're not really threatened by Amaru at least, but Sabo is going to buy us some time. So I am going to go ahead and use the leader effect here, though. I'm just deciding which card I want to trash. Looks like Hogback's probably the best answer. Maybe even just bring back Hogback, if I'm being honest, just to get another 2k into hand. And it looks as though we're going to do that. Yeah, we're going to get the Hogback, return a couple cards, maybe just pick up like a Perona, or I don't believe we have a Sindri in trash at the moment, but I know that I have to dodge quite a lot of triggers, and that's where this matchup just becomes really dicey, is honestly just attacking and them just getting value off of life. So I am going to swing 6, taking a look at a potential trigger right now. Dr. Hogback is the only card that's potentially susceptible to a KO, so everything else is pretty well protected. Is thinking about this, so could be maybe like another Pero or a Sanji. Oh, I swear, if he gets another Pero, I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, that's insane. I do remember playing through. Oh my gosh, it is. I remember playing this match and it was just like miserable. I said there's no way that all 4 Peros have been seen, and I think 3 of them were through trigger. So pretty tough. I am just gonna get him down though. I know that I have 3 life, so I don't have too much to worry about. And I could attack with Moria. I'm just deciding whether I want to or not. Like, is there anything super threatening that he could get out of life? Luckily, finally no trigger off of the last few, and we just go ahead and pass. We got him in a good spot. The craziest part about this, though, is that it still isn't clear that I necessarily have the win. Just because yellow's got some shenanigans, man. I also don't know exactly what my hand's looking like. Oh, actually, no, we're looking pretty good. We have tons of counter, plenty of counter. 2 Peronas, brand new, and a Borsalino. But yeah, this was one of those matches that I honestly almost couldn't believe that I won, because you know he's got some swings here, but the luck of some of those triggers were definitely not on my side, and it felt like it was a super uphill battle. But we're going to see an 8k swing into life. I'm just going to give him 2 2ks. I don't want to take the double attack because that would force a reject, and then it just gets ugly from there. But putting for 1 is just going to pick up Strusen. Not really much usefulness right there. And now we're probably just going to see like a couple swings and a Sanji, and then we should be able to just take it. But oh, first matchup right here is a little scary. And if I'm not mistaken, though, like I said in initially, oh, he swung into Lucci. That's why I countered with 1k. 7 into Lucci, though, I will just let it go. And a 7 into life, playing down the Sanji and just passing turn. So 1 blocker, but we've got enough to be able to take it out on the first game. Well, excuse me, I believe this is the second game. The first game was the game that I didn't really have a good camera angle, and as you can see, the camera is slowly but surely dipping even further as it, you know, from when we started the initial match. It's, I don't know what happened. I think somebody either like bumped into it or, you know, but hey, technical difficulties, but I thought that the matches were good, so they were worth uploading. that one felt like, you know, how do I get out of my opponent seeing some pretty insane triggers there? It felt like we weren't able to, or it felt like we got kind of lucky just having Lucci. If we didn't have Lucci there in 2 of those turns, just being able to handle the board was really rough. But 5k swing, I actually don't think I had an incredible amount of counter, so unfortunately I did have to take this. My opponent does have the Pero Sparrow. I'm going to swing 7. I want to get it off the board. I don't want to let my opponent potentially get, you know, board control through triggers and stuff like that, so I just want to make sure that I'm the one taking the lead right here. And I use Absalom, and he hits another Pero. Yeah. I was expecting one whiff out of all of the games that we played on the Pero. I don't believe it happened. I believe that it was just, you know, he was looking good on that Pero search all day. It hurt the feelings, though, I tell you what. I think he's just going to drop an 8k on us. We are going to take this and another Pero. It's about as straightforward as it gets. We've got 6 Dawn to work with. If we do have Hina here, Hina feels really nice just being able to go as wide as possible. But he's probably just going to protect that life, and gives me a 2k Amande. I am just going to swing 5 with Leader. He does take this one, and now 2 for brand new gives me that Hina, unfortunately, that I wish I could have had in hand already. Yeah, my hand was not great, and my trash is not looking great either. We just didn't have a lot of Thriller Bar cards that would have netted us like any positive right there. But a 5k, I will just block with Borsellino, and now I gotta give him a 1k. If he plays 7 Mom, I think we just trash, but he actually is just gonna play Kiku into the 3rd Pero Sparrow. That is, that card has never been missed. It is, it's super, super tough, especially when, you know, a lot of the times I don't feel that bad about KOing Pero now, because it does constitute like a potential whiff, but it's just not been that way at all for us. So I know that if I do KO the card, it's definitely just going to get him a 10 cost Big Mom or something. And so swinging into the Pero Sparrow, wait, let's see if we were right. Ah, cracker. Okay, I thought I was onto something. But he does let this go. I've still got, I believe, 8 Dawn to work with. Sadly, no 8 cost Moria in hand. Sabo into leader effect does seem like it could do us some justice right now. And that's exactly what we're going to do. 5k, or excuse me, 5 Dawn for the Sabo. And now Hina's realistically just looking kind of useless in hand. I think that we could just get rid of that. Lucci, you know, it feels bad that I would have liked to get the combo off, but we don't have any Ice Age, Great Eruptions. So I figured I would just throw it into trash, get rid of the counter power, or the lack of counter power, excuse me, and then kind of hope that I can get an 8 cost Moria. I do end up trashing a Perona here. I can't really see what I'm milling, like I said, because the camera angle unfortunately got a little wonky there at the end. But I do choose to trash the brand new instead of the Suru. Not extremely emphatic about that, but I will go 5 with Borsellino as well. This does pressure my opponent's hand a little bit, but Kiku is going to be swinging into Borsellino. I'll go ahead and 1k counter out of that. Another 6, I believe, into Borsellino. I have enough in hand to get out of this, but I'm just going to give him a Perona there. And now this 7k, I'm not entirely sure where this is going. Oh, I think this was going into life, and I decide to 2k counter out of that. But I will trash the life because of the Lin being played. I think that I have a wide enough board that I feel confident in potentially going for game here. Having 2 blockers is great. I think if we can get a 3rd down and just get multiple swings in right here, I think we're just looking super comfortable. I don't know if I have that 3rd blocker, though. It does look like we have another Borsellino. So Borsellino is an option. Yeah. I think that I might have misplayed this turn if I'm not mistaken, though. We'll see. I probably should go 5 into life with Perona, and it does work, but unfortunately a Brule off the top of the deck is pretty solid. It's pretty solid. It does some good things. And I'm going to rest 3, though, for Hina. I'm going to use it on the Brule. This seems... I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I think that just saving the Dawn... Yeah, see... I think saving the Dawn would have been a lot more helpful for me here. We do end up trashing. I'm definitely going to get back into Absalom. So we're going to swing 6 into life, but he's just got such a healthy hand. So KOing the Brule and then 6 into life. Pretty easy 2k counter, if I'm being honest. But he does decide to take... He's got plenty. It looks like he's got like an Amande as well as a Bej in hand, so looking all right. I still have Absalom, I still have Borsalino, and I still have Sabo swing. I go 7 here. I don't like this at all. I should have... I realized that I should have 100% just went 5. Test the waters with Absalom first, and then, you know, potentially just play Borsalino blocker, and then I've set myself up for a victory. But sadly, I did end up kind of messing this up, and now I realize, looking at my 2 Dawn, my measly 2 Dawn that I have left, I'm just going to pass turn. I've got my opponent down to 0 life, though, but I have given them an out because I have 1 card in hand. And unfortunately, that is going to be the Amaru onto a Borsalino, and now swinging 8k into life. I've only got 1 card in hand I have to take. This is such a shame, but to make matters even worse for me, my trigger right here is Ice Age. I can't use it on anything other than the Parasparrow, and that just felt super bad. But another 8k, and would you believe it, my last life is another Ice Age. So a little bit of a misplay at the end there cost me the game on the 3rd match, but it is what it is. They were good matches, bad recordings, unfortunately. I just had I don't know what happened to the camera, and it just keeps dipping lower and lower and lower. So sorry about that, but you know, that is what happens sometimes. And I hope you guys enjoyed the matches. I think this matchup is really weird. I think it's winnable for Gecko Moria, but sometimes when your opponent just sees, you know, the curve and the triggers, it's just, you know, yellow things happen. But overall, had fun, enjoyed the matches, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. All right, peace.